Marijuana addiction. We all suffer our own version of an addiction, whether that be coffee addiction, gambling addiction, porn addiction, alcohol addiction, a variety of addictions. So how serious is marijuana addiction really? And why should you stop it? Is it something that you should quit? Or can we use it on a daily basis and not be addicted to it? Is marijuana even addictive to begin with? Find out in the rest of this video.
If you give it to me, you know that I'ma give it to you. Mommy, if you give it to me, slowly, baby, if you give it to.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. What's goody? Wagwan, gang. This channel is all about providing you with a daily dose of edutainment. My goal is to both enlighten you with information for myself or other people that bring onto the channel, but to also not only do I want to give you knowledge that you can apply to your day-to-day life and make your life better, life-changing videos, but I also want you to be able to come to the channel, laugh with me, be entertained, and just brighten up your day in one video or another, right? So this video is a part of my series on addiction-related videos, specifically marijuana. Contrary to popular belief, marijuana can be addictive. Okay, marijuana can be addictive. You can get addicted to it. Marijuana was never my personal addiction, so I just feel like it means more and it sounds more authentic coming from somebody who's actually smoked marijuana to the point where he was addicted to it. Right? So my addiction was pornography. I have videos about why I quit pornography. I'll probably leave it in the description or pinned comment as well. In this video, CG Kid, the homie, details marijuana addiction, whether or not it's real, why he quit marijuana, and the withdrawal symptoms you'll face if you do decide to reduce your intake. So I'm gonna cut straight to his video and I'll see you at the end. Bow.
What's up guys, it's CG Kid, the crazy ginger Jufro strikes back once again. In this video I'm going to talk about whether or not marijuana is addictive. And to start off this video, I want to talk about what addiction actually is to me, and I think it's just common sense, but a lot of people don't understand it because addiction is placed in like this little box, like you're an addict or you're not an addict. And to me that's like so stupid, like it's fucking retarded. To me addiction's like depression, anxiety, any other thing that society in the whole struggles with, and everybody suffers with addiction at some point in their life. They probably suffer with some type of addiction currently. Addiction is using something outside of yourself to provide a sense of inner satisfaction. Now when it becomes desperate, repetitive, and automatic, and you try to stop and you can't stop without getting help, then that's when it becomes like, I guess, a problem. So for instance, if everybody has depression at some point, everybody gets depressed, everybody gets anxious, some of those people can deal with it on their own. Some of those people, the depression, anxiety gets really intense, so intense it affects their work life, it affects their social life, and then they seek help, or they don't seek help, they just try to get off of it on their own. They just try to psych themselves out of the depression or anxiety, and they can't. They need help. They need to see a doctor, they need support groups, they need to tell a friend, they need medication, whatever the case may be. So everybody suffers from addiction, and essentially a lot of things can be addictive. So to ask the question, is a certain substance addictive, or can it be addictive? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. What's my personal experience with marijuana? I get addicted to marijuana. I'm asked constantly, do I smoke pot? I'm over 4 years clean, and I don't smoke pot because I get addicted to it and I don't really want to. Those are the two main reasons. So let me explain a little bit more about marijuana addiction, for me at least. It's hard to get into, it's hard to get off of. That's how I describe it. And that sounds so confusing, but with meth, the first time I smoked meth, it was an instant addiction. The first time I smoked pot, I laid on my brother. I remember we were in a car and I laid down on my brother and I was like, I think I'm dying, take me to the hospital. And I was freaking out, I didn't like it. It was way too intense. I actually went blind a couple times, I've thrown up. But once you've get over that cycle of it being psychedelic, it becomes more of a sedative, and it becomes more of like I'm smoking pot all the time, all day, every day. And yes, I am addicted to smoking pot. I love it. I mean, my life revolved around it. I spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy getting and smoking pot, and that's just the bottom line for me. I've also heard of it being referred to as just a psychological addiction, so it's not as bad, but psychological addictions can be pretty fucking intense. I mean, gambling and sex and eating, all those things are just psychological addictions, but people lose their lives to shit like that. You know, some people do really get severely addicted to psychologically addictive things, and so just because it's not physically addictive doesn't mean it can't be really fucking addictive to certain people. To me it was. I was seriously a pothead. That's all I did with my life. I smoked pot, I went to sleep, I went to work to be able to buy pot, I smoked pot. That's pretty much it. It kind of explains this hippie Jew fro. Like, I never really grew out of it, even though I haven't smoked pot in a long time. But yeah, and did I get withdrawals? Yes, I got psychological withdrawals from marijuana. And they were intense enough to drive me crazy. They made me irritable. It made me not able to sleep. It made me not really able to eat much. If I did sleep, I had vivid dreams. To me, it was like just a very, very subtle psychological only heroin withdrawal from what I was hearing in one of my things, like, because the dreams are really creepy. I would get nauseous, I would get really weird diarrhea, really, really, really bad anxiety, like horrifically bad, and the smell of pot or the thought of pot would like literally make my mouth salivate, like I wanted to smoke so bad. And it only lasted maybe about a week, but it felt a lot longer than that. The first 3 days were the hardest. After a week it started getting easier. But yeah, it sucked big time. And before I smoked a pot, I mean, there's certain people that don't get this reaction, and they blanket statement. I think a majority of people don't get addicted to pot, and they blanket statement saying nobody gets addicted to pot. And whenever I was researching is pot addictive, I was finding answers in grasscity.com and shit like that. Of course, you're gonna find a biased point of view in a site that's all about marijuana. Everybody wants to say, oh, it's luxurious, it's great. But then whenever I was going forward through the withdrawals, I was actually searching more like Yahoo Answers and stuff like that that were separate from these marijuana sites. And other people were relating. They were saying, yes, they're getting withdrawals, and it is horrible, and it is bad. So yes, marijuana can be addictive, and a lot of people minimize their addiction. They say it's marijuana, so it's not as bad, and that can be a huge problem, because if you minimize something, regardless of what the problem is, you're more likely to continue it for a longer period of time. So a lot of people that do have a problem with marijuana, they'll minimize it, saying, well, I'm not drinking alcohol, I'm not, smoking crack. But they'll wake up 40, 50 years old and realize they've spent a lot of time and money smoking marijuana, a lot of time and money that could have been put towards something else, something more productive. And then they decide, oh, it is a problem, but they minimized it. That's the thing, man. A problem is a problem, and whenever you minimize a problem, you're making the problem a bigger problem. It could be something as simple as like diet soda or fast food. Like, you minimize it. You minimize it when you're young and you're like, you have a fast metabolism. You're like, oh, it's not a serious problem. And then, whatever, your metabolism slows down and you blow up like a blimp and you're a tubbo whale. Like, that's the problem, is people minimizing shit. And I hear it all the time. A problem is a problem, whether it be meth, heroin, crack, McDonald's, marijuana. If it's a problem and it's affecting you, then fucking, find a way to stop. Either try to stop on your own, or if you can't stop on your own, then get help for it. That's like the bottom line. And marijuana can be a problem for some people, not everybody. So that's my vlog on can marijuana be addictive. I hope some of you related. Maybe some of you have marijuana addiction. And you're just like saying, oh, it's just weed, and maybe you're starting to realize, hey, this is kind of affecting me, and maybe this video will help you know that you're not alone. Vice versa, maybe you've never been addicted to marijuana, it just doesn't do that to you. And I'd love to hear both of y'all in the comments. I would love y'all to engage with each other and open up this issue. Yeah, that's pretty much my vlog. Is marijuana addictive? Subscribe for future content on recovery from addiction. I will do a video on the effects of marijuana, of course. This one I'm kind of sharing more of my personal experience with whether or not it's addictive.
I'm hopeful that you guys enjoyed the video and that it was a relatable topic, relatable. What he said was very relatable to y'all, and you know, just made you think about, made you reassess or reevaluate your own personal relationship with weed, marijuana, Mary Jane, 420, ganja, pot, all the names associated with weed, right? If you're serious about taking back control of your life, and rather than having weed or gambling or whatever other substance you may be addicted to, if you want to take back control of your life, rather than having a substance be in control of you, rather than spending money unnecessarily, rather than just getting your mind back, right? You want to get your mind back, you want to take the next step further to quit your addiction, click the link in the description for the Truth of Addiction program that walks you through evidence-based research and unorthodox but scientifically proven methods to quit your addiction forever. It walks you through meditation practices that you need to take, as well as things that you should be eating that help you to curb all those cravings and urges you get once you do decide to cut back on weed. No matter how much you were taking it, whether it was daily or weekly, once you start to cut back, you start experiencing withdrawal symptoms, right? Because your brain, you needed it to function, not to function. Your brain became acclimated to it, right? But then to take it away, the brain has to slowly not need it anymore. So throughout the process of you disassociating yourself from weed, you start experiencing withdrawal symptoms. But there are certain foods that you can be taking that limit those withdrawal symptoms and cravings and stuff like that. So all that information, all that detailed step-by-step walkthrough is in the Truth of Addiction program. So if you want to cop that, click the link in the description. And I genuinely hope this video helped you. Not only do I have this video, I also have a couple other videos I've made about weed and marijuana that you can check in the cards and the description as well. Alright, so God bless, much love, peace and joy, namaste, and always remember, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it. Whatever it is, substances, people, your environment, if it's not nurturing you or making you better, don't water that shit. All facts, no cap. And always remember as well, keep that same energy, be real, be authentic, don't be fake, and don't tolerate people that show fake love or fake support to you either. Alright fam, see you in the next video, and click the link in the description for the Truth of Addiction program. Alright, deuces.
Give it to me. You know that I'ma give it to you. Baby, if you give it to me slowly, yeah. I see your body.